I told you last year, right on investment stage. Ooh, didn't I? One of the greatest companies in the history of publicly traded markets. I think for the next 5 or 6 years, they are the most important and they are the catalyst for this AI trade. They were probably grandfather in agentic and quantum computing on some level, and we have to give them credit at a time when it was sexy to build social media apps and delivery apps, and there was a lot of copycat building in Silicon Valley. They focused on what really mattered and built the AI infrastructure for America to give us a lead at the time when Apple, probably not a fair comparison, but like Apple was David Robinson. They came in being Tim Duncan at the time that was needed most to deliver the chip when America needed it. Is not talked about how they are saved. They saved our stock market. But long-term pricing, by end of the year, I have them going to 189 flat. Within 12 to 18 months, I have it at 290, 290. You got to give Jensen a lot of credit for just, once again, being paranoid, keeping his head down, looking to, opposed to a 12-month cycle, like you said, looking to improve on a 2 to 3 month cycle. And championship culture is important, right? When we went there was no fraternizing. That's the one thing I took away. I've been to a few corporations. Usually some of them have a nice little lounge area or foie gras and some cafeteria. Everyone there was working on a mission, on a purpose. And I think they built a great culture that I think the world gets to see at a larger scale. But, and also too, in the era where Bitcoin is just tearing down gain returns, they're the only company where you can say, well, I can invest in this equity if I'm not invested in Bitcoin to get a similar return. The gap between Bitcoin and indexes is like, there's no comparison now. Light years ahead. So just an amazing company, and they are what I wish Apple would be.
Yeah, they have completely. We used to say Apple fights for us. Like me and my brother would have this Apple fights for us, and it was because of how dominant Apple was, and we saw the potential growth for them. Nvidia has surpassed that, and I would say for definitely our Market Mondays audience, during the time we've done this show, it's the most important company. It's changed more people's financial situation than any other company that we have talked about.
Yep.
And here's the good news. They're not done.
They're not done. Nowhere near close.
Like this is setting up for a 4 to 5 year run before there's even anybody near it. So you're talking about another 4 years where that stock price is going to continue to appreciate, right? Will there be some setbacks? Yeah, and there'll be a lot of things that'll determine some of those setbacks, the functionality of some of the data centers and how AI is being used and implemented. But when we talk to people in AI, and I know we talk about OpenAI all the time, there are about 20 other applications and platforms that are relying on these GPUs.
For sure.
And that says a lot from the small scale. From the large scale, when you talk about enterprise, you name the company in the top 10 that doesn't use NVIDIA or is partnering with NVIDIA, whether it's Microsoft, whether it's Broadcom, obviously TSM is a partner. Meta has already talked about their allocation of how many GPUs they're trying to get last year. You're not going to be able to lead or even compete in the space without them, and that's not going to change. And so this 4 trillion is the first mark. I wouldn't be surprised if they get into 5, 6 in the next 2 or 3 years. Like it's not, and that sounds crazy because it's $1 trillion.
Yeah.
Right. Like we just in our lifetime, we saw the first $1 trillion company. We're talking about a company that potentially could add an additional $1 trillion in the next 2 to 3 years. We've never seen anything like it.
5-year price 416.84. Hold for the long term. If I made you money, please put yes in chat. I need a lot of y'all to stop copying and saying that the Nvidia trade was yours too. Respectfully. It was all grace to God because I can hear. But I heard y'all say that, and I was like, when?
You said wait, say that number again.
416.84.
I'm just trying to calculate where that would put them at. That would probably put them over 6 trillion.
I can divide one every two. Intel, two of them should do. The Intel Pentium processor, though, when we were growing up, what? Oh, breaks my heart.
Means nothing.
Gateway compact Intel. What's the biggest? Never mind.